So my question is the claim that the 14th Amendment doesn't truly exist justifiable? And no, it is not justifiable. The 14th Amendment does exist and it is necessary for the function of the United States, despite what some people say. So most people say that the 14th Amendment doesn't exist because of its proposal. So when it was proposed, 2/3 of Congress did not sign off on it. At the time, like right after the Civil War, there were only 37 states in the US, so they needed 28 states to sign off on it, and only 21 actually did. But then the Reconstruction leaders went and implemented the amendment anyway, and it became part of the Constitution, even though it wasn't legal or lawful. But they did this so that the two conflicting groups in the United States at the time, black people and white people, could come together under one nation, because in the first section of the amendment, everyone born in the United States is a United States citizen. That's what it says. So that means all these former slaves were now US citizens along with the white people. So it brought the two groups together under one country, and that helped with the cohesiveness of the state after the Civil War. So despite its unconstitutional adoption, it was necessary for the cohesion and reconstruction of the United States. It was a vital aspect of the Reconstruction. And it's no surprise that the states that did not sign off on the amendment were the Confederate states. It was 11 southern states that did not sign off on it. And so if you flash forward to today, the people that don't agree with it are neo-Confederates and groups similar to that. So the Southern Poverty Law Center, they're trying to discredit these claims against the 14th Amendment because it's unethical for those claims to even exist. And so these people are invalidating the 14th Amendment mainly because it makes people who aren't white US citizens. So, and we know this for a fact because another group that doesn't agree with the amendment is the KKK, which are notorious for murdering African American people. So there's a very strong correlation between people discrediting the 14th Amendment and racism, and groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center are trying to get rid of that. So to discredit the 14th Amendment in this case is to discredit the rights of so many people, which is unethical because everyone deserves the same rights. Another claim is that the 14th Amendment doesn't have any purpose anymore. Glenn Beck stated something along the lines of the 14th Amendment was made to get rid of slavery. Last time I checked, we didn't have slavery anymore, which, if you think about it, is a very narrow-minded way of thinking about things, because the 14th Amendment now does so many more things. Just because the needs of the citizens change doesn't mean that the purpose and use of their laws can't change along with them. So the people changed in the United States, therefore the laws changed. So the 14th Amendment now is involved in stuff like gay marriage and gun regulation and corporate personhood. It still has so many uses just besides slavery. Like for gay marriage, homosexuals can now get married because of the 14th Amendment, because their rights are protected by the 14th Amendment. People go by state regulations now because the 14th gun regulations, because the 14th Amendment protects them from federal regulations. And corporate personhood, we can now sue corporates as we would a person, which can have very nice benefits. For example, the BP oil spill, we sued BP as a person, and then they used all that money to clean up the oil spill, which is a pretty cool thing. So yes, I will say the 14th Amendment doesn't constitutionally really exist. It was not passed legally, but it was necessary. It was necessary for that amendment to be passed for the cohesion of the United States. And why get rid of it now when we benefit from it so much today? It has had great impact with so many things, and it's so versatile, it doesn't make sense to discredit it because it doesn't have any use, and even to discredit it is unethical and it dehumanizes people. The 14th Amendment does exist, and it is still useful, so